Hello, my name is Nathan Free. I'm a senior here at ETSU. Recently I had the privilege to traveling out to California for a 9-month school that I attended there in Northern California. And it brings in people from all over the world. And I had the opportunity to live with 2 South African men for 9 months. And it truly was one of my life's top experiences. The guy that I interviewed today was actually a gentleman that I live with out there, and he is now one of my best friends. His name is Valdu Vandenberg. He's from Western Cape, South Africa. I'll show you a few pictures, and you'll get to see the beauty of this nation. But for the interview process, I just wanted to ask him a few questions about the American culture and his stay here. It was his first trip to America, and his first trip ended up being a 9-month stay. So he got submerged in the American culture for a while, and I'm sure to him, he began to think he was American after he was here for so long. But I asked him, I said, in your stay in America, what was your favorite thing about our culture? He said his favorite thing was that the Americans tend to take pride and ownership in their country. He says that almost everyone he meets as American tends to express their pride in their U.S. citizenship, and it creates a strong bond between the people. Even if we disagree on things like politics and etc., we still have a strong bond through our American citizenship. My next question for him was just a follow-up on that one. I said, what was your least favorite thing? And he said it was the same thing, that the pride sometimes tends to let us down when we think that our way is the best way, that we tend to have a closed-mindedness to how the world does it, and that different way in some cases is the better way. So, and I can see this, that just the way that we were raised, a lot of times we just learn about the U.S. history and how we've done it, and by not looking out to other cultures, we tend to have a closed-mindedness of how the world operates. So, my next question for him was, upon his arrival in America, what was the greatest culture shock that he dealt with, and why? They actually, there in Cape Town, they drive on the left side of the road. They don't drive on the right side of the road. He said one of the biggest things to him was learning how to drive on the opposite side of the road, and dealing with our currency, and learning how to express himself in his second language. There in South Africa, they speak a language that's called Afrikaans, but it has many different dialects because there's many different cultures and many different ethnicity represented in South Africa, and they even used to have a click language where they spoke in just clicks, but he had to express himself majority of the time in English, unless he was speaking with his other South African mate there. They would speak to each other in Afrikaans. So those were some of the greatest culture shocks for him. One of the questions I always like to ask people is how they view Americans and America before they travel to America. What is their view of an American? And he said that his view before he came over here is that we were obnoxious and loud and arrogant and ignorant. So, in a sense that hurts. We need to be aware of this, and aware of our actions, and aware of how we speak, and aware of how the world views us. And I believe there's things that we can change about ourselves and about our culture and about our nation, just to get a better view in the public's eye. So this one as well, I had a follow-up question to him, just how he viewed America after his stay here. And he found that Americans were great people, much like his own culture. They were friendly and helpful in most of the cases, and he never felt like an outcast. We always tried to include him. Um, he said it truly is a land of the free, and it was great to hear that after his stay here. That is not what we are. A lot of times we get labeled that, and it was great just to know that that's not his view now. And one of the things too, I just wanted to share with you guys what his culture is like. So I asked him just to give me a quick overview of what his culture is, his family, his religion, his activities, what they do there. So he said his culture is very proud, and they're built on tradition. He grew up in a family that's very hospitable and friendly. They do hold customs for the sake of tradition, but that doesn't always mean that that's what they're going to do. He said his family was built on Christian faith, and they're very strong in it, and they have a very strong work ethic. He said the Afrikaans people believe in hard work. They like sports and outdoors. South Africa is a westernized society, and we have access to the rest of the Western world. And he said that plays a big role in shaping the culture that he lives in today. I asked him how our culture was viewed in his culture. How do we perceive in the eyes of the South African people? And he said that Americans is viewed as a strong nation and leader in the world, and they get a lot of their culture through the American television. He said most of their channels are American channels, so the culture gets exposed through the television and media. He said that sometimes that we are viewed as arrogant and self-righteous people, but that is sometimes confused with confidence and pride in our nation. And just as a joke, just a joking question, I asked him, what was one of the worst experiences you had here? And he said the worst thing that he had when he was here was actually while getting his hair cut. So I've traveled to Australia. I haven't been to South Africa yet, but I plan on going there within the next year. But in the other nations of this world, you will come into a lobby. Well, they will greet you openly. They will ask you if you want anything to drink. It's complimentary water, coffee, and tea. You can be sipping on water and coffee. They'll lean you back in a massage chair, massage your head, shampoo and condition your hair. Then they'll cut your hair. Ask you for if you want anything else, another drink or anything like that, and then we'll take you back again and shampoo and wash your hair, and then they will style it. This is all complimentary and part of the deal. We don't have in another country you don't have to tip a hairdresser. A hairdresser is actually on a built-in salary, so you're not paying for your service and tipping above that. And he said when he was here, they didn't offer to wash his hair, condition his hair. They would cut his hair. It wouldn't be of quality that he was used to. And also there was nothing complimentary. And it was just different to him to experience that. So this is my conclusion here. When I stayed with them, it was true that a lot of times I'd find myself having to bite my tongue on some of the things that they did, and learn to accept what they did. And a lot of times it is true, coming from an American, it is true that we are closed-mindedness in the way that we view the world and how they do things. So this was a great learning experience for me, and I hope you guys find it well. Thank you.